Hello, I'm Kevin Pullen, and I'd like to welcome you to Art Life Studios. And I'd like to tell you about one of the pieces here at Art Life. This piece that I've worked on is called the Gandy Dancers. And if you permit me, I'll tell you a little story about these fabulous young men. The Gandy Dancers were known for being the railroad stewards of their day. They were charged with taking care of the railroad. And a lot of the origins from the Gandy Dancers came actually from the prison days, particularly when minorities, often African Americans, were charged with the duties of repairing, fixing, and building the railroads. Well, after the Civil War and right up until the mid-70s, there was a group of professionals who had evolved, and this is the individuals, the Gandy Dancers. Their job was maintain that track, as I said, and one of the principal duties was to straighten the track. And in their day, they took a steel guiding rod and they straightened that track by hand. What an amazing feat. Interestingly enough, why do we call them dancers? Well, part of the process of the Gandy Dancers straightening the track was they would often work in cadence, chanting and singing as they're about to go and move that track. So as the Gandy Dancers move, you could hear the rhythm building, click, 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 and they'd lift and move that track, and they would actually move the railroad tracks to straighten it out in increments by hand, singing and chanting as they went. That was their way of actually mustering the strength together. That was their synergy process. That was their maintenance of themselves for this ungrueling and often thankless work that they were doing. So this is my representation of the Gandy Dancers. There was often one person in the group who was the caller. The caller would actually be the leader in the chant. And oftentimes the Gandy Dancers, it was generational, because this had become a very good job, a job of means for African Americans as society progressed. And there's often a younger generation coming up. So a lot of the times there, we were passing this tradition on of the Gandy Dancers amongst the people as not only a fine means of employment for them at that time, but as a cultural chant, a cultural piece of their history that they maintained. It's a sight to see. There's some video on the internet that you can see of the Gandy Dancers in action doing the chant, and I encourage you to look them up. Well, I'd like to thank you for visiting Art Life Studios. I'd like to thank you for visiting and hearing a story about these fabulous men, the Gandy Dancers. This is my production of the Gandy Dancers in clay, and I would love for you to be able to peruse it and take a look closer. Come to Art Life Studios someday. Talk to you soon. Thanks.